So, good morning. We're here because I want to go over the cash advance program. And this program has become one of our key feature players. And the main reason is the environment is perfect for it right now. Um, Businesses are starting to do better. They see even better horizons ahead, and some businesses just need money to get them there. Other businesses, go through peaks and valleys and need money to get them through the valleys. There's a lot of different reasons, but you know, the pitch of "Do you need money?" We have some is a pretty good is a pretty good pitch, and the great thing about the cash advance is while it's not a simple process. It's much simpler than the alternatives. You don't need financials. You don't need tax returns. The approval on the cash advances are based strictly on revenue. So it's based on the bank account revenue and it's based on the credit card processing revenue. So there's the things to look for are if they're doing credit card processing and we're going to do a merchant cash advance, is it's basically how much money are they processing through. So it's going to be for the lender, that's a very secure deal because out of every dollar that comes through, they're going to get a certain percentage of that. So at the end of the day, when the merchant batches out to do their settlement, the funder is tied into the credit card processing and they get their portions. Whether it's done directly through a split through the credit card processor or through a lockbox where a certain amount of money percent goes into a separate bank account and the lender is able to pull it out. So those are the two ways to do it with credit card processing. And I'm going to show you examples of all of them in a minute. The other kind of advances is a revenue cash advance. So there are some companies out there that are not credit card heavy as far as processing, but they do revenue. So these lenders will fund based on pulling out either a fixed ACH amount each day. And by the way, all these programs pay daily. So whether it's credit card processing or the revenue advance, it's all done daily. So with the revenue advance, there's two ways they can process its fixed amount each day. So $100 a day, whatever the dollar amount is, or they can get a percentage of the revenue. Most of the time, more times than not, they'll do the fixed amount because the percentage is difficult for them to handle. So we've done both of those programs. The things to look for on the revenue advances, the lenders don't like to see obviously too many days when the merchant is negative on their balances. So if you have a merchant where they're running barely positive and then have some days where they're negative, that's a red flag for the lenders because they want to make sure their money is going to be there to ACH, unlike the credit card advance where the money is they're settling out and you're going to get a percentage. The lender is totally 100% secure. With an ACH model, the money still has to be in that account for them to get. So they highly prefer the merchant cash advance model, but we've done both. The amounts we've done, and I'm going to show you, we've done advances as small as $5,000. And the sky's the limit as far as the amount is concerned. I mean, we could theoretically go to $200,000, $300,000. The nice thing about what I'm about to show you is that we have a platform where there's multiple lenders. So it's not just tied into, and this is what we had before. We used to have one or two lenders that we dealt with, and we'd send applications out and work with it serially. The problem is each one of these lenders has what they feel comfortable with. So you have to know, I mean, if you were going to hook up with each, individual lenders, you'd have to hook up with a lender that's high risk, because there are some of these lenders that know they're not going to be competitive with the prime merchants, so they're waiting for those high risk merchants. We have the others that just want the prime. We have others that just want certain verticals. So you have to know which lender to send your deal to, and that's why a lot of these ISO models don't work, because they're sending it to one lender. If that lender can't do it, they're out of luck, or maybe they'll start searching around. We're using a platform where there's about 20 lenders that are part of this platform. Now, they all don't get the deal, so the deal may be sent to 10 and may be sent to 15. It can be sent to all 20, but we're trying to be more efficient. This we're really early adapters with this platform. So within the next few weeks, and those of you may have sat in on a previous webinar where Sam from the developer of the platform gave the webinar. I mean, this is a brilliant model, but they're making main changes where there's going to be instant approvals based on the parameters that are entered. So I'm getting ahead of myself. So how do we get started? So you have a merchant, let's say, that wants some money. They need money. They want to expand their business. They know they're running into a slow season. They want to have a cushion in the bank account, whatever the number, whatever the situation is. So where do you start? The first place you start is you start in our back office. So this is our back office. For those of you, if you're new and you're not familiar with our back office, you should have the login information. Go back there. Everything you need to deal with us is back there. The cash advance section is right here. There's not much there. There's the cash advance application, and there's the cash advance brochure. It's not hard. You don't need major marketing materials for this program because it's basically, to a merchant, do you need money? If you need money, we can help you. We don't ask for an application fee, so the merchant there's no risk to the merchant. All they have to do is go through the time of filling out our application and giving us the statements that we need to get the ball rolling. This is the application here. It's a pretty straightforward application. It's really a one-page application. Please fill it out as neatly and as thoroughly as you possibly can. In the very near future, and Sam is pushing me to do this, but I'm waiting until the system is perfected. In the very near future, I'm going to give each of you a login directly into the platform, so you won't have to do this. You'll be able to do everything electronically online. You'll be able to email it to your merchant. Through the system, click send to my merchant, and it's going to send it directly to the merchant. They'll be able to fill it out and complete the process with you. Right now, though, we're keeping it as a paper system because I'm just trying to perfect it myself. So fill out this application to the best of your ability. Have them sign the application. Have them sign the authorization, which allows us to pull credit and that kind of stuff. Send this to me along with, send it using, and this is the other thing, send it using our submittal form. This is a relatively new development as well, so I suggest you guys use it. It really works excellent. If you fill this out, you fill out this client submittal form, you pick cash advance, it would open up the appropriate boxes that we need to have filled out, and you can upload your documents. We need 3 months of bank statements at minimum, 3 months of credit card statements at minimum if they want to be considered for a merchant cash advance. Now, if you have a business where the last 3 months statements don't show it in the best light, so let's say you have a business that's kind of seasonal and the last 3 months was the down cycle, get more statements. You're not limited to 3 statements. If you think 6 statements make a better case, because this comes down to negotiations. At the end of the day, we're going to have lenders that we're going to try to negotiate and push and try to get the best deal. The more evidence, the more ammunition we can get to make that happen, the better chances that we have. So, don't be cookie cutter. Have a conversation with your merchant. And this is true with all your products. Have a conversation. Have a give and take. Try to learn from your merchant what their needs are, where their business is. Are there better periods, worse periods? It's very important in trying to get these things through. So this is a very simple online process. You fill out the application, upload your documents, and then you click submit. Put in any comments you may want, and then you click submit. Everything will come to us. We'll process this and get it into the system for you. Let me show you. I'm going to give you a few examples of some of the deals that we funded and some of the deals that we're working on. So let me give you a couple of examples. This is a very small deal. Now, as you can see, we had a lot of rejections, some questions, but we had a couple offers. So we actually closed this deal. Well, we're going to be funded today. It's a $5,500 deal, very small deal. The merchant is very happy. Here are the details of the deal. The merchant gets $5,500. The total payback is $7,700, and this is typical, so it's 1.4 factor. So it's a 40% factor, and it's depending on the the holdback and the revenue of the business, it will probably take about 6 or 7 months to pay this off, and that's typical. We can go as long, under certain circumstances, as long as 18 months. That's usually on the ACH deals. They'll go 18 months in some cases, 10 months in most cases. The shorter the term for the lender, the smaller the risk. So that's why but we can push the envelope if we need to negotiate to get a better deal. In many cases, we can push the envelope. So the key ingredients to an offer is the funding amount, how much the merchant is going to get, the payback amount, how much the merchant's got to pay back, the factor, which is basically the ratio of payback to funding amount, the holdback. Well, in the credit card advance is the percent of daily credit card processing. So if they batch out $1,000 in this case, the lender will hold back $200. Okay, so those are the key ingredients of what makes up an offer. Okay, let me try to show you a couple of other scenarios here that are kind of interesting. Let's see what I got here. Okay, this one's interesting. This one we're hopefully going to fund today. Now, as you can tell with this one, there's a lot of reasons, but I had a ton of rejections. I mean, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We had 7 lenders turn us down on this deal. So if you were an ISO or you were an agent and all you had was one lender, which lender do you hook up with? If you had one of these 7 lenders or 2 or 3 of these 7 lenders, guess what? You're not getting an offer. We had 2 lenders that were willing to do something here. So we had one lender that offered us a small amount of $5,000, and we had a second lender, which is the one we ended up using, that offered us $12,000. Okay, so this is an ACH deal. So this is a fixed ACH deal. So this is a 10-month term. So the way this would work is it's a $12,000 funded amount. It's a payback of $16,320. Okay, so it's a 10-month term, which means it's 200 payments. So the way to figure it out is $16,320 divided by 200. This business will have $81.60 ACH'd out of their account every day, 5 days a week. So when they say daily, weekends don't count. It's Monday to Friday. So it's going to be a 10-month payout of $81.60 per day. They're going to get $12,000 instantly, and the merchant's going to be happy. And it was tough putting this one together. The reason this was tough, and let's see if I can show you some of the. I don't want to get too. Let's see if I can show you a bank statement without showing any pertinent information here. Let me see. I'm not going to try to. No, this was a good one. The problem with this account is they had some of the accounts showed negative balances, daily negative balances. So the other issue was, if you look at the comments that were made of the ones that turned down, that gives you a good indication of what the challenges are. So let's see. Let's look at the rejection. Decline, sales inconsistent. So they had months where they were better than others. When I spoke to the merchant, that's actually the case. They had really good months, and it seems to alternate, one on, one off, too small, They do not have enough days of deposits. So they, in other words, the merchant wants to see the lender wants to see that the merchant is active, because if the account is stagnant, it reduces their chance of getting paid back. Fluctuation in below minimum deposits has been denied as it does not meet the merchant cash and capital minimum underwriting criteria. After reviewing the application supporting documents, we regret to inform you we're unable to approve this applicant for financing because negative bank activity. So you could see this was a tough one. This one had a lot of turndowns, but we were able to find and negotiate a deal with, they came back at first with offered $10,000. I got them up. I negotiated it up to $12,000 and got a little bit better of a deal. Let's look at another one. It's pretty interesting. This one is also going to fund this week, and the next week now, I guess. So let's take a look at this one. This one is, I got a few offers here, and there was no rejection. Most of them just ignored it. But let's see. We're looking at, this is the deal that we took. So we had a lot of offers. We had 15,000, 5,000. The challenge here was that a lot of the paybacks were very, very difficult. And the other challenge was that the agent on record here had just signed up this account with Elevon through us, for a merchant account. So in order to do a merchant cash advance split, we were going to have to switch to a different processor, because which we could have done, but it's a little bit of a pain in the neck because Elevon does not do merchant cash advances. So I found a lender that gave us the amount of money that we were looking for, the highest actually. I negotiated that. Plus he did a lockbox. He was able to do a credit card split through a lockbox. So as you can see here, it's $20,000. The payback is $29,200 for 1.36. The holdback is 15% of daily activity. So that's how they're going to get paid back. So this was a very good deal for us, and I'm pleased with how it turned out, because there was a lot of variables that made it kind of difficult. Let's see. Let's take a look. See here. We got a few others that are in the pipeline. I think that's representative of. Let's see what this one is. This one is closed. This one funded already. As you can see, this is another one. We had very few offers. This lender came through and gave us the best offer, a $27,000 deal. It ended up being $27,000. Holdback of it's a credit card split. Holdback of 45%, because the way this business operated, there wasn't a lot of credit. The business had good revenue, but not a lot of credit card revenue. It wasn't a large percentage of the total revenue. So they took a high percentage of the credit card revenue. So it's not represented. This is probably representative of a smaller percentage of the overall revenue. This 45%. The buy rate is the payback is $37,530, $27,000. I think the merchant is kind of happy. So, the things to look at for these deals is, there's a lot of different variables. You have to look at these deals as though, all right, if I was the lender, would I lend money on these people? You have to. Credit card processing is the easiest thing to go to. If they do a decent amount of credit card processing, it's a pretty easy sell, because, like I said, the merchant is pretty secure. So as long as, the lender is pretty secure. So as long as the lender gets a good sense that this business is going to stick around, so they still look at the bank statement. They want to make sure that the business isn't negative too many times, that the business is solvent. But as long as they have a good feeling that the business is solvent, the credit card processing, merchant cash advance is the easiest thing to do. From a mechanical standpoint, it's difficult getting these splits done. Sometimes you got to pull your hair out, but still, it's from a safety and from a success standpoint. The credit card, the merchant cash advances are the best. Otherwise, if you're looking at revenue strictly or mostly, through the revenue, solvency is the big thing. You want to see that there's a positive daily balance, at least almost all the time, that most of the time they have a decent balance in the account. They need to have a certain amount of deposits. So if you have a business that's only doing, there's some businesses out there that don't have a lot of customers. They do a nice amount of revenue, but they may have, 5 customers a month that pay them $10,000. That won't be good for this. The lenders will probably have a difficult time with it. They want to see that there's a broader customer base and that there's more deposits. So you want to see a minimum of 6, 8, 10 deposits a month. Hopefully more. So we've had an excellent success rate. I would say out of all the deals we've put into this system, almost all of them we've gotten offers, some kind of offer. There's a few that we didn't get any offers on at all. Let me show you an example of one of those. Okay, I got rejected by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I got rejected by 12 lenders here. And if you look at the reasons for the rejection, balance. They had an existing merchant account. That's the other thing to look at too. If there's an existing merchant account, the lenders won't pay off an existing merchant account as a refinance unless it's down to about a 20 or 25% balance of what the original balance was. They won't do a second on it other than an ACH unless the business can support it. So in this case, this merchant had already taken out a cash advance, and it's a restaurant, which is something you have to keep in mind. Restaurants are great businesses, but one of the things that is common with restaurants is they don't always put all the cash into the bank. So while the business may be healthy and the business may be solvent, the bank account probably tells a different story than what the business actually is doing. So when we looked at these bank statements, the bank statement basically reflected a cash advance that they already took out, which was exactly what they're capable of doing. So it was difficult to convince a lender to give them more money, and they hadn't paid down enough. I think they paid down 40 or 50% of the original. So the credit history is poor, excessive amount of NSFs in the bank. So they took a cash advance, and now they still have a lot of NSF. So what does that tell you? They burned through that original money, and now they're back in the soup again. So this was a tough one. Since our ACH program only goes for $35,000, they'll be able to pay it off. They don't take second position. So this one was an uphill battle. I tried a couple different times because this is a really good agent, and I really wanted to try to get it done for him, but it just wasn't going to happen. So the question is, how do you sell? Where do you start? Where do you start? So this is a door opener as far as trying to deal with businesses, and just about every industry works. The only industries that we cannot do that I found out, and there may be others, they won't do cash advance for lawyers, and they won't do cash advance for car sales. So just about everything else, manufacturers, restaurants, just about any other business that you can think of can be used. So the question is, where do you start? You go after a vertical that you want to do other business with, because remember, you're going to make a decent commission on this. The commissions are very, very high. I mean, we can get, in some cases, 10 points, maybe even 12 points on these deals. So you get if you get a $50,000 cash advance and they're out there, you can make yourself a very nice commission on it. So that's one motive. But the other motive is you may want to do other kind of business with them. Hopefully we get the credit card processing out of it. So if it's a merchant cash advance deal, we automatically get the credit card processing, which means that you're going to get that revenue from it. You may want to go after businesses that you can also sell the consumer financing. So that's another area. So you can go after verticals that may be suitable for consumer financing, auto repair, for instance, home service businesses, businesses that may have a dual need. Some money, offer them the consumer financing. You get the credit card. You get the credit card processing revenue. So use this as a door opener. And I have some scripts in the back office if you need some help with scripts. But really, it's just about calling up and trying to dig around and say, do you have a need for money? because we have, these sources have opened up, and there's a lot of lenders, and with these, even though I have these 20 lenders, I have to tell you, I get a solicitation of 2 or 3 additional lenders a week that are not part of this network that want our business. So the lenders are out there. What this platform gives us, though, is a vehicle to really stretch out. As I showed you, I mean, if you pick your own 1 or 2 or 3 lenders, it's a Russian roulette as to whether you're going to find the one that's actually going to finance your deal. This platform basically assures that if we don't have it here, it can't be done, because we have every kind of lender under the sun. So we're confident. We can go into a business and say, if you're fundable, we're going to find a lender for you, and we're going to negotiate the best deal possible, because you know what? Those deals that have multiple offers, guess what I did? I would leverage one against the other. I would go with the one that I think is closest to where I want to be, and I would leverage the other offers against them and try to get the best deal possible. Try to get the highest amount, the lowest payout. I'm doing that now, actually. Is Anthony on the phone?
Yes, I am.
Hi, Anthony. We're doing that now with Auto Cars Imports. This is one of Anthony's deals. We came back with a $45,000 offer. The merchant didn't like it. I was on the phone last night with Funders Cloud, and they have a possible $75,000 offer for Auto Cars Imports. So, we're negotiating a higher amount and negotiating a better payback, because that was the 2 sticking points. So, but because we had an initial offer, it gave us a jumping off place to try to see if we can find something better. So this is what this platform does, and it's getting better. And one of the reasons I haven't shared the automation part with you yet is because I got to work out the glitches. It still hangs up sometimes when I'm trying to enter a deal in. So I want to make it perfect so you guys don't have to deal with it. And according to Sam, we're a few weeks away from being there, where you'll be able to enter a deal, and it's going to auto-select the lenders and auto-approve it. So you'll be able to click, and within a matter of seconds have some preliminary offers come in, which are going to be very nice. I mean, obviously, most times we're not going to want to stick with those preliminary offers. We're going to want to roll up our sleeves and negotiate something better, but it's going to give you an idea as to whether you have something that you're working with here. And from an effort standpoint, this product is no harder or no easier than anything else. There is effort. Got to go back and forth with the merchants. They don't always give us everything we need. Sometimes they don't understand what it is we need. But at the end of the day, if you're going to do a product like this, I mean, if you're going to put in the effort, why not put it into a product where you're going to get upfront money, significant upfront money, and you're also going to get in many cases, a merchant cash advance account that's going to feed you month after month after month for a year, 2 years, maybe forever. And guess what? These merchants that tend to do cash advances, guess what happens when the cash advance is paid off? They want another cash advance. So they've gotten used to not having that money as part of their revenue stream. So they'll come back and say, I could use another $20,000, and they'll do it again, because they're already used to not having that money in there. So this re-ups are a big part of this business, and you get commissioned every time they re-up. So this is a beautiful thing. This is a place where you need to really focus on. And if you're looking to jumpstart your career, if you're new to this, or if you've been in a slump and you're trying to find new accounts, cash advance financing is a great place for you to start. Any questions, guys? Anything I can go over with you beyond this? So the process is very simple. You fill out this application, have the merchant sign the application, sign the authorization, get it back to me through the online account submittal form. Upload the statements. Click submit, and that will cut, and that's all you have to do for starters. I mean, there'll be more you have to do down the road, but for starters, that gets it into the system. Within 24 hours, we usually have it in the system, and we usually start getting a response within 24 hours after that. So it's a pretty quick process. It's like I said, a great way for you to jumpstart yourself. Any questions?
No, Bob, this is Dennis. I'd like to talk to you later on after the seminar is over. Can I give you a ring back? And
Yeah.
it's regarding the last seminar that I have some questions regarding that one, okay?
No problem, Dennis.
Thank you.
Any questions about this program? This must be very easy, or I did a very good job.
You did a good job.
Okay, I always like to hear that. All right, guys, if you don't have any questions, that was quick, to the point. Go out there and really start pushing this because it's a great product. Businesses are thankful. They get the money. Dennis, do we get a login? That's what I'm working on. You don't get a login yet. I'm going to work out the bugs, and hopefully within the next 3 weeks you're going to get a login, so you'll be able to go right there, directly in there and enter your own deals.
Okay, good. I'm still going to give you a ring back in about 10 minutes, okay?
Sounds great. Thanks, Dennis.
All right, thank you. Bye.
What was another? I'm sorry, Dennis Sayer had another question. Submit on the website. Then yes, you'll be able to submit on the website. But for now, you use this form, this client submittal form, which is let's see, back here in the BCMS. It's in every section. So if you look over here, actually I should put it in the. I'll do that later on. I should put it in the cash advance section. But if you look over here in the financing section, you'll see the new client submittal form. So you click on that form. It brings you right to the online form. You can enter your deal in, upload, and then click submit. Any other questions? Comments? Okay, terrific, guys. Well, have a great weekend. I'm here, and Dennis, no, they don't have to process credit cards. We can do we can do ACHing. We can do, if they have an existing credit card processing account. If you're not a BCMS processing agent and you want to keep it with your own processing company, as long as they're willing to do a lockbox, we can do it that way. Obviously, I prefer you use us for the credit card processing, but I do get that we have some people that do not use us for the credit card processing. But there are other ways to do it as well. So, guys, have a very good weekend. I'm here. If you have any questions, shoot me an email, and let's make some money.
Hey, Bob, it's Terry. You mind calling me for a couple of minutes after we're done?
What's that? Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Thanks. All right, guys.